From Benin to Lagos, he didn't just show up, he made a statement. The king from Benin, Nonex, stormed season 1 of the Johnny Minis with a debut victory, making his way to the Night of Champions. Season 2 is already here, and he's already proven that it wasn't luck. Welcome to Champions Insights, as we speak to a man who didn't just compete, but conquered here at the Johnny Minis. Let's get into the mind of a champion. And remember, life is a game, press play. Welcome to Champions Inside, Nonex. It's always good to see you. We have a few questions for you today. First of all, you won on your first trial, both in season 1 and season 2, but there were 2 different journeys. What will you say has changed in terms of your mindset, even gameplay, coming into this year's tournament?
Season 1, when I came to season 1, it was my first time in the nest. I saw a lot of people and I was like, and I still saw Mans of Farouk. So we're like, it's going to be tough, hard boy and the rest. But going in, I just started playing my game just to play my game because I took it as, if I can't win it, let it just be like an experience. But at the end, I got to the final and I won, and I was like, well, I got to the Night of Champions though.
Yeah, you can compete among the best.
Yeah, actually, I lost to the semi-finals and I was like, man. But after the whole experience, I said I need to come back again. It was a lovely experience and it was just like a test your might. Yeah. So I came back again and I saw the people around were like, I think they were tougher than the first season, but I didn't even think I was going to win it, but I had to still show what I got, and at the end.
That's really great. Your journey is very, very special because it's opened ways for other gamers also, and we were able to start the Nonex Zadok initiative, Zadok winning episode 8 from season 1. Speaking about even you coming from Benin, what will you say? Because we had for this episode, we had Tactical from PH from Port Harcourt, and we also had KK from Akwa Ibom. What will you say? How will you say your journey has even impacted some of these gamers to take that chance and say, okay, yes, I want to come and compete here at the Johnny Minis?
I think it affected many gamers in the sense that most people outside of Lagos don't really have much tournaments. Like they're not really out on the spotlights because most tournaments are usually done here, and most people, they just play at home or they play online and they're really good. They know they're really good, but due to 1 or 2 issues, they can't really make it up to this place to show how really good they are. But after saying that, it's actually, you can actually come up and you can actually compete among these guys you watch on TV. Like, it's not, they don't perform magic. So it makes people to say, okay, I think I can still try my own best. You see Tactical coming from Port Harcourt, KK coming from Akwa Ibom. There are also my guys in Benin that actually want to still come and show that yes, they still can compete against the Lagos gamers. They're not actually the best in the country. They're still unknown people that we don't know yet. So yeah, I think people should actually start coming up, and there should actually be more tournaments outside, like in different states too, just to showcase that talent that's around the country.
That's really great. Finally, you spoke about your Night of Champions journey, and so far we've had Farouk Manzo qualifying, meet your ultimate champion from last season. You may explain yourself. After that semi-final loss, what will you say you're looking forward to for this year's Night of Champions? And what's your mindset going into this one?
Well, I'm really confident I can win it. There are a lot of tough people. Mitch of last year is one that knocked me out, so I'm definitely coming for revenge. But then we have Manzo too. He's coming for my own revenge.
Everybody shaking right now from both sides.
Yeah, I'm actually going for the win, so no matter who is there.
Yes, that's really great. Speaking about tough opponents, we'll be diving into your match against KK. That one was an exciting one. We'll be diving that into next. Please stay tuned. We'll be back with more with that match at the semi-final that happened here at the Johnny Minis season 2 episode 4. Welcome back to Champions Insights. I'll be diving into the game I mentioned before, that one between KK and King Nonex. Nonex, for every tournament has its own journey, every match has its own tale. But while we're looking at so many of your games, this was one game that was quite interesting. We even saw the raw emotions from both of you during the game. But I would like to speak about so many things we noticed in this game. So far during every champion that has eventually won here at the journeyman is either the 4-5-1 or 4-4-1 that has been deployed by both by these champions. But for you, you went to the 4-2-3-1. That's quite interesting. What was your decision, or what led to that decision that made you go with that formation itself?
I like my game a little bit balanced, both defending and both attacking, and I trigger a lot of runs. So I feel like if I'm triggering a lot of runs, if I'm playing the 4-4-1 or the 4-5-1, they don't have defensive midfielders. So if I'm triggering a lot of runs, if they counter me, I'll be in big trouble. So it's rather I have defensive midfielders, so that if they're countering me, I can have a little help at the back to be able to help me to defend. So that was what made me just go there.
Oh yeah, even speaking tactically about the game itself, there's one thing that we noticed is the use of Carl as your striker up front. Harry Kane, obviously a world-class striker in real football, but he's 95 rated, so he also needs to also put some kind of things into thoughts when picking your team. But what was the reason behind that? Aside from his flexibility and his own ability, he has a low dreaming shot also, as part of the things that he has in his locker. I think he also has rapid, as that. Even I think he also has game changer also in the game. Also, well, for you, why did you pick that body type in terms of who you're going to start as your starting line?
Beginning of the group stages, I used Harry Kane.
Okay.
And when I used him, Harry Kane was actually decent, but in this game, your strikers actually need to have passing play style, like maybe incisive or tiki-taka, or even both to be better.
How does have incisive?
Yeah, so Harry Kane didn't have any. He just had the shooting play style for a striker. So those passes that I needed him to play, he was not really getting them. So Carl has incisive and pinged. He also has game changer. So I felt, okay, if I can use Carl can be able to give me those passes I need. I don't really need him to be the scoring type. I just need him to give me those passes to the wingers and to the midfielders ahead, because I trigger a lot of runs. So those are the main people that score for me. Carl is just for the assist. So that is why I went with Carl, because of those passes.
Yeah, we're diving into the game straight, and coming into this type of game, you always want to start on the strong foot. During commentary, a lot of people were saying don't allow Nonex to score you first, but this time we saw a case of you continuing first from this one. You were talking about triggering, you trigger a lot of runs, and we saw that exact example right here with him, KK in this position, triggering Vinicius. But walk us through this goal. How would you have defended better in this case?
Well, the double tap to Vinicius there was, I actually thought I could block it, because that position was actually very tight. But that was actually smart from KK to use double tap, because the ground pass there would not have gone. So when the double tap came in and he passed the ball to Mbappe, I actually thought he was going to go backwards. So I jockeyed a little too much to the back, and that's what gave him that space to go forward.
Yeah, well, we see how opponents start very strongly in the game, and one thing we always say is you always have to try and get back into it. You don't need to allow your opponent to go up by maybe a goal more than you or two. But in this one, we still saw you in the end coming up in this game in the 25th minutes with a goal. For this one, I don't know. I was more, when watching it from a neutral point of view, I was more critical of him moving Valverde away from the passing lane there. But I didn't notice the fake shot at the beginning. What was going through your mind? Because to do the fake shot at that moment, knowing that the game is very physical and you can easily body off the strikers, and Musiala not being someone with a bulky feature. Well, for you, I'll just walk us through that goal itself.
Before the goal, I think at the build-up, I did player lock. At first, when I did the player lock, I did it just to try and open that space in the middle, like take him to the wing to open that space in the middle. So when he actually went towards that way, I saw the middle open, and then when I passed to Musiala, I knew that if I took the shot immediately, there was a chance he would just play to the keeper or something. So I had to press I already took the shot, so I had to tap X to fake it. Then I took a normal shot. I knew that would not really affect me.
I won one at that time, and it was a very, very, very exciting game. One thing we always say during commentary is goals galore, because we know goals open the game, and it gives you some people might say maybe they want more defensive solidity, but other opponents want to outscore their pressure. But speaking about attacking, you also have to make sure that you don't lose sight of the other parts of the game, which is defending. And in second 32nd minutes here, I saw something that I don't think I'm quite good at. The use of the AI marking, second one, press here. Well, walk us through your defending style here. You already dragged that Upamecano at this point, but you saw the run for Vinicius there. But walk us through that sequence, how you're able to move your right stick quickly to immediately switch.
I knew that at that point when he passed the ball to Mbappe, I knew that there was no way I was going to catch up with Mbappe, and he knew that okay, if he continues running, I was going to catch up. So the obvious option there was just to turn back and pass. So I just had to switch all the way to the ending, because if I didn't switch on time, there was no way I was going to catch up. So I just waited for the pass, and he passed it, and immediately I just put my second man to just pressure the ball, then I could go from there.
Yeah, and for that, we were able to prevent one goal going in there. But one thing I always say is, or one skill I've not been able to master into this game is the drag back. And it's quite simple but quite effective at the same time. You just need to know the moments when you have to do it. But before we get to that one, we saw a goal here where I thought you were going to use the bruiser to get the ball off. Were you surprised how missed this one?
I actually was. That was very bad defending from my part, because I'm not supposed to commit that hard. Like, at least if I wanted to commit, I should commit, then try to cover up in case I miss the tackle. But this time I just committed everything towards that bruiser, and Mbappe just somehow slipped past her. Maybe those guys just Mbappe time.
Yes. The dictator is always dictating play on the pitch for everyone that is using this Mbappe in the game. But moving forward, I was speaking about the drag back, and that was the 50th minute that we saw that one from you in the game. Even after you had a magnificent left foot finesse with Diaz to equalize the game. But this drag back was the one that I saw, and I was like, okay, this is something that I'm actually put into my locker. Well, I'll walk us through the drag back itself and why it's very effective for you.
I use that skill a lot. Like, recently I've actually been using that skill a lot. The name of the skill is Flare Nutmeg. So you use it by L1, R2, then you use your right analog, you hold it to where you want to go. So now you can either cancel it into a pass, or you can cancel it into a shot, like the way I did there. That just once, as the skill is in the process of doing, you just tap the X and to cancel it to a pass or cancel it to a shot. So at that point, he was already behind me. Like, the defenders were already behind me. So I knew that the only way I was getting that ball across was just to do that skill. So I just did that skill to open up myself a little, then pass the ball to Elise. So it's a very, very effective skill in very tight positions. Maybe when you want to pass and the defender is beside or behind you.
Well, in this game, going ahead is one thing, but staying into the game is still another skill that needs to, because we still saw Kiki trying to be very, very dangerous in this one. We still saw the chance almost immediately. Getting a chance with Mbappe, it was Bellingham in this case. A finisher with his weak foot, we thought that one was going to go in. Well, how grateful are you to goalkeepers in this game?
Like, at that point, I've already said, because this game, kickoffs are so dangerous. Like, immediately you score, you need to defend 100%, because this game is, kickoffs are like free goals somehow. So immediately he got that chance, I was like, I've considered the kickoff. But we think Neuer was basically a man of the match from that second half.
we saw another chance here where this one, Mbappe, this time, we're thinking almost it's going to be a goal. I wasn't expecting him to go for the near post in this one. Well, it looked like he was saying that, okay, well, maybe we're going to get bruised off the ball at that moment. I think you mentioned triggering runs twice while speaking with you here, and we saw an example of that here in the 65th minute. A very, very walk-through ball here. You triggered Musiala here, and I was already thinking that what were you doing? But you still saw that pass, and Carl again instrumental to another goal to Luis Diaz. Well, for this combination, would you say Bayern is the most effective team for you in 95 rated?
I like Bayern's team, to be honest, because they have very big defenders. You have Jonathan Tah, Ito, and the rest, Upamecano, and their midfield you have Goretzka, they have still big midfielders, people that can actually hold the ball, bully up the ball. Then their strikers and their wingers are actually decent because they are the kind of body type that you have a little speed that they can actually go with the ball. They actually have good feet on the ball. So I actually enjoy them. It's just the striker option is actually just shaky between Hurricane and Carl, but yeah, they're actually decent employed. I used them to win season 1, so I was like, I just go.
You can do it again. You're mentioning strikers. Funny how you didn't call Nicholas Jackson as one of them.
No, Nicholas Jackson.
well, just to continue on this watch along. One thing we saw was you eventually even removed your depth from 65 to 61 after scoring 4-2. What was the reason for that?
I just feel the lower your depth, the more you can sit back and defend. But I don't like sitting back too much because if I put it in 50 or 55, my CBs, everybody will be like behind the keeper or before the keeper. So, and that way, if they get into your box and they shoot, it's likely a goal. So I prefer to just use the offside traps to try and push them away from my box. But at the same time, just let them just be in that third line of the box. We can defend that. So.
Moving on, as I said, Kiki came back in this game, and the 76 minutes. For me, I thought maybe better defending could have been used here, but I don't know if you have a different opinion. How would you have defended this scenario better? Because you know how dangerous. You mentioned kickoff before, but you lost the ball almost immediately after kickoff here. Well, how would you have defended this scenario? Because we saw you moving in Pamecano out of sight there and created that space for.
Well, I should have used my midfielder to try and block Mbappe instead of Upamecano, but I actually thought I could move Upamecano to block the passing lane, but Mbappe just pushed his body a little to the left, and that was actually crazy for Mbappe. So that was actually a very good attack from Kiki too. So the issue here was losing the ball immediately.
And we know how it can be very, very crazy here at the Johnny Minutes, because except it's the final, for every other stage, once you draw the game in knockout stage, you have to go straight to penalties. We saw you were even eventually to conquer in the final on penalties also. Well, for you, what's your mentality when taking penalties? Do you have certain positions you already stage for each player that is coming, or you just go with your gut at that moment?
I'm pretty confident in penalties though. But in the Night of Champions last season, I lost the semi-finals on penalties so much. So I try as much as possible in my penalty shooter just to be calm and pick my spots. Don't double guess it. Just believe in what you choose, and it should work out for you.
Oh, but for you, how confident were you stepping up with Neuer in this situation?
In the penalty kicks for goalkeepers, the bar is normally very fast. So I just
I did catch that, because both of you were able to get it to the exact green spot.
So if you miss it, even just a millisecond, you are going to miss that pick in penalty. So I just had to just get it right and then put it in that way. Neuer was not going to miss. And
for this one here, we saw you able to step up there and eventually save this one with Neuer. That man we're talking about, the goods for some in football. Well, it's great. A penalty win is a win in the end, because you're able to move to the final. It's been great speaking with you, Nonex. This is Champions Insight. It's great to see your knowledge and what's going through your mind. Our fans now will see that there's no pressure on gamers when competing in this one. It's been myself here, Gabriel, from Phoenix Sports. It's Champions Insights. This is the champion of Season 2, Episode 4 of the Johnny Minutes. He will be at the Night of Champions. Farouk Manzo has qualified. Mitch, our ultimate champion from last season, has qualified. Yemi XP, that man, no one would have expected him. He had grinded. He had gotten to semi-final stages before, but falling short. But now he's going to be at the Night of Champions with this man they call King Nonex, the king from Benin. We'll be telling you much. We'll bring you more information on how that one is going to go down. But as usual, stay tuned. More content to come for you guys. And remember, life is a game. Press play.